Hey everyone, it's Ten Types, and in Japan, City League tournaments are back. They've been back for around somewhere between 1 and 2 weeks, and these are moderately small tournaments. They have like 64 people. They're not tiny by any means, but they're tournaments in Japan that Limitless has results for here, which is to me the most important part about them. So I can look at them and show you all some really cool decks that people are playing in them. Limitless only reports the top 16, so all the decks reported are, decent in terms of their performance. They're not necessarily amazing, but they are not bad by any means in terms of how they've done. Additionally, of course, if you're not familiar, Japan has cards earlier than internationally. So currently, the cards from Mega Brave and Mega Symphonia, which are in Mega Evolution, are out in Japan, and also the cards from the Mega Nancy and Mega Gengar starter decks, which include I think one trainer we're going to see. There's not that many good cards in them. There's four in total that are like all right, decent. But anyways, I've talked about those some already. Today we're taking a look though at some weird, wacky decks. These are, I guess, rogue decks. They're maybe a bit more than rogue decks, as you'll kind of see. Some you'll probably know, some you probably like won't really know. But anyways, let's just hop right in to the first deck here, which is Alakazam. Alakazam's the one that's been impressing me the most out of any deck from the new set. I guess it's not the best deck from the new set, but it's been pretty like it's been okay. In Japan, you got Alakazam here, which is a Pokemon with its attack or with its ability Psycho Draw, which says once during your turn, or not once during your turn. When you play this, you evolve to evolve one of your Pokemon from your hand, you draw 3 cards. And then hand power per one psychic does essentially 20 for each card in your hand. So that's like okay. Obviously, you're drawing cards with it, though. Then you also have Kadabra here, same ability on the stage one, except it draws one less. It's the same name here. But drawing you 2 cards on the stage one, drawing 3 cards on the stage two is pretty nice here. We do also see Zadu, which provides draw to the deck. And also energy acceleration, which is pretty fun here. I will say this list is a little weirder than some because it does include the item card Suspicious Clock as well. Suspicious Clock is one of my favorite cards from the set. I guess I don't know if its use case is super well, like if it has any great ones. Alakazam's one of the better ones, and it's not great here. That being said, Suspicious Clock is an item that lets you devolve one of your evolved psychic Pokemon, and you can devolve it to any stage. You can evolve it from the stage 2 to the basic. This is really good because it allows you to return. Oh, and then they go back to your hand. So that's good. You return the Kadabra and Alakazam to your hand. You can play them back down to draw yourself more cards, which is super good. So Kadabra is a card it's obviously one card. You play it, you draw 2, so it's a +1 card. It's giving you +1 card. Alakazam is giving you +2 cards. Then Suspicious Watch is theoretically giving you +4 because you can play down the Kadabra and Alakazam, which again are what are they? Or I guess I've lost my train of thought. Yeah, it's +5, or sorry, +4. You play one, you get to draw 5 cards, not necessarily immediately, but potentially immediately, depending what your board's looking like. Also, you do have the fun little pivot Kadabra and the Dodon Spice, which is also a pivot, which is kind of funny here. And the Dodon Spice is really cool as it puts itself back into your deck and you draw 3. It's not the craziest draw in the game, if you look at the amount of cards it increases your hand by, it's just going to be 1 because you play the Dunsparce and the Dunsparce, those 2 cards. Then you like draw 3, but then you like go back into your deck and then you like play them again and stuff like that. So you're looping them, but it is increasing your hand size throughout the course of the game, and you're drawing lots of cards. You should be playing lots of Dunsparces and growing your hand. Also, it is burst draw, which is pretty cool here. And then also you compare it with Enriching Energy, which says it's a special energy. It's an A-spec special energy as well. It is not the best A-spec special energy, unfortunately. However, when you attach it, you draw 4. That is good, right? This is the strongest pure draw support or draw like card in the deck. Obviously, Fezzik DX is like better, but is drawing you 3. Alakazam is drawing you 3. Dunsparce is drawing you 3. Lily's Determination, I guess, is drawing you more, but you do lose your entire hand. And then Boyd's Conviction is, so in terms of increasing hand size, Lily's is not going to be doing it most of the time. Then Morty's here could draw you more, but probably not. And then Enriching Energy, though, it is cool here. It is your ace spec, but you can also attach it to the Dunsparce to loop it. So there's a lot of looping stuff going on in this deck, which is really, really fun and replaying. So overall, this deck is super cool. Is it good? I mean, I don't know. The multiplier just isn't very high. 2 times each card in your hand. is kind of bad, right? It's like you need a lot of cards to be doing big damage. You also can't hit weakness. I mean, it plays Lily's Clefairy EX, but that's as an attacking option. Um, because you're not, I mean, you're attacking with Alakazam EX, or sorry, not EX, Alakazam, but it is a card that is not doing damage. It's doing damage counters, so it's not hitting weakness, which is like not so good. Overall, though, a really, really fun concept and one that I'm excited to play some, and I'm excited to play against as well. I think it'll be a pretty fun deck. Maybe it'll have long turns, which will be a little annoying, but it's really cool. Then we have the next deck here. This one, I guess I'm less excited to play against. This is Control Box here. And the way this deck works is there's a bunch of different things. Honestly, I've not really played this deck or seen it, so I'm not super familiar. I mean, obviously, I haven't seen it at all this 60 in a game because it's not out yet. But we have Cleffa here, which draws you cards. You got LGM, which moves around energy. You have Ethan Sudowoodo here. Ethan Sudowoodo, I think LGM and Ethan Sudowoodo are the main two attackers here. LGM moving energy around your opponent's board, essentially removing it, just moving it to somewhere where it's useless, and then Ethan Sudowoodo could copy attacks, which is kind of funny. But no, it is here to trap Pokemon, and it's useful because it's a card that allows you to trap. And also, you do 20, but you do hit fighting resistance, which is useful on like Squawkabilly EX or what's another card? Mew EX, I think, resist you. There's a few, but it's a pretty cool card here. And then we also see some new cards here in terms of healing. Previously, I think I played Monkey Dory, but now you're playing Shuckle here, which lets you heal 30 from one of your Pokemon, which is it's cool. I don't know if it's like better than Monkey Dory. Monkey Dory generally seems better, I guess, because it does damage, but there are times when you don't want to do damage. So in terms of not doing damage, that could be useful. So Shuckle's kind of cool here as just a nice little healing option. And then we also do see the Psyduck, which counters Dusknoir here, as well as a couple other things. And then we also see Mantike. Mantike really caught me off guard. Mantike is a card that I haven't really seen played. Apparently, it's seen a good chunk of play in these walling-based decks, but it heals 120 from one of your bench Pokemon for free. It does have free retreat as well, so it's a fun little healing card alongside Shuckle there. I think allowing you to heal Cornerstone Master Ogerpon EX. Comment that down below if you know the exact use or if it's just a more like general utility card. But I do think it is there for the Fighting Ogre Pond. Also, while you're down below, make sure you subscribe and like the video. But anyways, then we got Genesect for ace spec counters, and we got, which honestly I feel like Genesect's like, it's just me. I feel like this card's kind of fallen off. Not that it's bad, but I just haven't seen it as much. And then we got Lily's Determination for a draw, a very strong supporter. Presumably you're not taking really any prize cards, so it's Shuffle Draw 8 like the entire game. You could be taking some, but even then it's just Shuffle Draw 6, so it's like absurdly good. Definitely the best card in the set. I don't think that's really debatable. I do think it is personally the best card in the game. Once it comes out, it'll be that. I guess, I don't know, Boss's Orders is very good, but I think it is better than Iono, and previously I had Iono as the best card, I guess. I'm not sure. Anyways, it's like super good here. Obviously, you got Counter Catcher to trap things. I think trapping is like going to be a win condition that you're looking for a lot of the time when you can do it. So that's very strong there. Then you do Prism Energy and Luminous Energy, two versatile energies, which is really fun. This list is running 7 copies of those energies. Because that's how you get the grass on the Shuckle. It's how you can get I guess that's the only thing you can like that you specifically need it for, because you do a fighting or like psychic, but you don't have that many. You have one of each. So you'll be using these special energies all the time, and they're really, really fun as well. Then we have the next list here. This is a weird deck. I mean, a lot of them are kind of weird. This is Mega Kangaskhan with Fortress. Yeah, kind of a wacky combo here. Mega Kangaskhan EX, if it's in the active, you draw 2. You can only use one of its ability per turn, but then your attack for 3 colorless, you do 200, flip coin till you get tails, 50 more for each heads. So, like, you're looking at 200. Could be doing more, but not consistently doing more either. However, you can power this up using Fortress EX here, which you can also burst onto the board with Force of Vitality, letting you evolve your grass Pokemon instantly, except for turn 1. So turn 2, you Fortress EX, and then you knock it out, and then with this ability, and then you search for 5 basic grass energies and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. So you accelerate to 2 Mega Kangaskhan's there, maybe 3. I don't know. You have Picnic Basket, but you don't have any switching either. Also, like some of the stuff in this deck is kind of weird. Like, why is it? Oh, Safe Man's Code Breaking is you can just draw the 2 off of Kangaskhan. And then we also see, so we see a bunch of healing here. We see Protective Goggles as well, a fun card that I feel like I don't really see, but it removes weakness for basic Pokemon. So it's a pretty interesting card here. Oh, you could play this with the with Megalodios, I think. Someone again, comment down below. Can you do that? Because it doesn't normally have a weakness. Lily's Clefairy EX gives it a weakness. But I assume Protective Goggles would remove it. But again, someone tell me down below in the comments if that's how that works. But I assume it is. Anyways, and then you have the new supporter here as well, Acerilla's Mischief here, which says you can only use this if your opponent has 2 or fewer prize cards remaining. Normally in an all-mega deck they won't, but with Fortress you'll knock yourself out. You'll get knocked out by or give up a Mega Kangaskhan, and then your opponent will be able to they'll have taken 5 prizes. They'll have 1 left. You can play this card, and then you protect your Mega Kangaskhan. I think the idea is from damage from Pokemon EXs and effective attacks. So I think the idea is to just have 1 Mega Kangaskhan. I think at the beginning of the game you want 2 in play. Then we'll get knocked out. Then you'll have 1. You'll just be like spamming Acerillas, and then you'll just be protecting yourself completely and entirely. You also there's like so much healing in this deck too, though, with Picnic Basket, Super Potion, Bravery Charm, Protective Goggles as defensive tools there. So this is a really really funny list. It doesn't seem super strong, I'm not gonna lie, but it does seem kind of crazy when it works. You're just like you're kind of invincible. I guess you are invincible. You can't be like bossing, and you're not super strong in damage, but it is really cool. We also see Miracle Headset to recover 2 supporters from the discard to your hand, potentially recovering 2 Acerilla's Mischief there for 5 turns of immunity, which is like a lot. Even if you're just taking an average of 1 prize every turn, you'll be winning the game doing that. Then we have the next list, though. This one is super weird. This is I don't know. This is a list that I saw when I was looking at decks during my podcast with Lincoln and Fossil. I saw this list and I was like, what am I looking at? Why we got Palafin with Baxcalibur in Chimpo? So you got Chimpo Baxcalibur where you get a bunch of water energies to your hand, and then you put them on your board, then you like do damage and stuff, right? You also have Wellspring Ogre Pontiacs to snipe, which is like kind of cool. But then you have Palafiniacs where you like switch it in and out, and then you do damage. You can't do it if you don't switch it in and out. Same thing with the single prize Palafin here. So the thing tying it all together, I guess, is the fact that it plays Surfing Beach, and Surfing Beach is a pretty cool stadium here. Saying once during each player's turn, that player may switch their active water Pokemon with one of their bench water Pokemon. Generally, I don't think the stadium is super good because it requires you to be, you want to play something like Tresidipity. If your Tresidipity gets gusted, you can't switch it out. So you need to be playing almost all water Pokemon, if not like all water Pokemon, to get actual value out of this. If you look at a deck like regular Palafin EX, which doesn't see that much play, but it's seen some play. And if we look at a list, it's playing. The only water stuff is going to be generally, I think, the Palafin line, and then you generally see darkness stuff. Oh, Lumineon V, I guess is this is an old list. What is this? But anyway, so you got a lot of other stuff going on in the list that isn't water, so you're going to get stuck. And then Surfing Beach though is good if you're like running all water. It's a switch, but it's like better than a switch because um it's a stadium bump, and it's also well, it's not always better than a switch. You can't use 2 in 1 turn, but aside of that, it is better because you can use it as a stadium bump, and it can work multiple turns here. And both these cards want Surfing Beach because Chimpao can get multiple uses of its ability, which is nice, allowing you to get extra energies in your hand, which is obviously really important for doing big damage with it. And even more importantly, Palafin EX, or I guess the single prize Palafin, which you need to get Palafin EX out, only works if you switch, and then Palafin EX can't attack back-to-back turns, so you need to switch as well. So this is really funny. I'm not gonna lie, it seems kind of terrible. This seems like the worst of the list here, but it did like okay in a tournament. I do like Surfing Beach with Palafin. I kind of like it with Chimpo as well. It's a decent stadium here. It's not like crazy. But it has some value in some decks here. But moving on to the last list here. This one is a bit more tame. Not playing really any new cards outside of Lilies, and then also the Psyduck here. That is Wugtrio, where for 3 colors on the stage 1, you flip 3 coins for each heads, discard the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. Wugtrio, in my opinion, definitely the best mill card in the game. I guess, unless there's something like Mill 1 that's played or something like that, or Mill 2. But in terms of an actual mill deck, it is the best one. Great Tusk is okay. Wugtrio is going to be averaging more cards milled, and I don't know if it's easier to use, but it might be easier to use and doesn't require you to use your supporter, so you can use it to like draw or disrupt or something. But then we also see Dracoloak as the draw engine here, which is actually an underrated draw engine, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it's like obviously very good in Dragapult, and then once you're playing Dracoloak, why don't you just play Dragapult, right? But some people do just play Dracoloak and something like Goldango. But then we also see the really interesting Shinoda here, which is the reason I chose to highlight this list here. Shinoda is a stage 1 from Surging Sparks here, and it has an ability here. I guess it has a usable attack as well. Well, like payable, it is possible to use it with reversal. Not usable as in like good. But the ability Calming Light here says once on your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may make your opponent's active Pokemon asleep. Making your opponent's active Pokemon asleep is going to be annoying for them. We've seen a Mareep in the past, which was similar. It was a basic, so that was like a lot better. This card saw a bunch of play here. It did. Trust me. I think this is a time when like there weren't as many tournaments. But anyways, Reap was like pretty good. Shiinotic is not as good. It's not a basic here. Additionally, to retreat was originally bad, but with Air Balloon now, Shiinotic is it's not good that good, right? Like looking at these results, it is kind of bad, but it's not horrendous. It is playable with Air Balloon as a special condition slash sleep option here, which is pretty annoying to have to deal with over and over again. So I do like the Shinoda here. I don't know if it's actually good, but I do like the value it adds. I think it's a pretty cool option. I kind of thought Shinoda was okay, a little underrated coming out of Surging Sparks, and then but it didn't like have the switching pieces you were really looking for. But with Air Balloon, I do like it. It is something I kind of forgot about because it's like it's kind of bad, right? Let's be honest. But Shinoda is a cool card. And I do like this list as well with like, I think Wugtrio is fun, right? I think Wisp Filigree is fun. I think Wisp Filigree, it's not super good, but it's okay. It's not a bad deck with Ignition Energy. And overall, this list is kind of cool. You got like fun cards like Sacred Ash and Hilda and stuff. I mean, Hilda's like a good card. Sacred Ash is not a bad card. It's all right. But Hilda's certainly a pretty strong card here. But anyways, tell me down below in the comments what your thoughts are on these lists. Also, make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't done that. But I hope you enjoyed, and as Osmond said, see you in the next video.